Hello, good morning. So, today we are going to start inverse trigonometry function. In class 11, the circular trigonometry function we have studied. And students, if I think 60 to 70% students find difficult in trigonometry because plenty of formulas are there in circular trigonometry. For competitive point of view, also circular trigonometry function we used to avoid it because there are plenty of questions. But inverse trigo is quite crucial for all of you, because this we are going to study in 3 parts of class 12, 3 different parts, one in derivative, one in integration, and one normal inverse trigo. What we are going to start today. So the application starts from here. The word starts with inverse. You can see. If I start with inverse trigo, my request to all of you, please try to cover up the formulas of class 11 within 1 or 2 days. Then only we can have better idea of inverse trigo and how to apply it also. So if I go to inverse trigo, the word what is inverse here? Inverse means, inverse we are studied in function. 1 1 plus 1 2. That means a function, the word inverse means invertible. The function is invertible when it is 1 1 and 1 2 both. Now we are coming to trigonometry functions, and we know that none of the trigonometry functions, sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec, none of the trigonometry functions are bisective functions. If a function is bisective, then only it is invertible. For example, if I think about sin x, continuous this way. Okay, and today I will use different color chalks because you will find it easy. If a line drawn parallel to x-axis, cuts the graph at exactly 1 point, then it is 1 1. If a line drawn parallel to x-axis cuts the means horizontal line. If it cuts the graph at exactly 1 point, then it is 1 1. You can see it cuts at infinite many points, and there is no scope that it is 1 1. That means sine graph is not 1 1. When it is not 1 1, there is no question of it is invertible. That means sin x is not invertible if I check at the domain R. Then what I have to do? Similarly, come back to cos x. Okay, if I draw a line now, this is sin x graph, this is cos x graph. If I draw a line parallel to x-axis, it cuts at more than 1 point. So this is also not 1 1. This is many 1. This is also many 1. You think about tan x graph. What is tan x graph? It is not going to touch this line, but it becomes parallel. This side also it becomes parallel. Similarly here as well. Becomes parallel. This side also. Here also you can see the graph of tan x. Alright, if I will draw a line parallel to x-axis, you can see how many points it is cutting. More than 1 point. So this is also not 1 1, this is many 1. That means all the trigonometry functions, normal trigonometry, circular trigonometry functions are many 1. When it is many 1, there is no question that it will be invertible. Then what I need to do? So first I am going to show you something, then I find a relationship. unless until you will have the idea about the circular trigonometry functions, this normal trigonometry functions, we will not get an idea about this one as well. So first we'll see what is the domain of sin x. Domain of sin x is R, cos x domain is R, tan x domain R minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2. That means it is not defined at odd multiple of pi by 2. Listen to my words, odd multiple of pi by 2. Pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, minus pi by 2, minus n by 2, plus and minus both. Odd multiples, you know, odd multiples of pi by 2. 1, 3, 5, 7, pi by 2 multiplied. Negative side also. Cot x is equal to 1 by tan x. Cot x equal to 1 by tan x. When tan x is not defined, when tan x equals to 0, tan x is 0 at n pi. Think about trigonometry equation. So this is r minus n pi. That means where it is not defined, I have subtracted here. Sec x 1 by cos x. Where cos x is 0, sec x is 1 by cos x. Where cos x is 0, sec x is not defined. Odd multiples of pi by 2. Cosec x 1 by sin x, r minus n pi. Where sin x 0, cosec x is not defined. This is the domain of sin x. Alright, it's the domain of sin x. Now, trigonometry functions. Now I'll go to the range. Its range is minus 1 to 1. Same range, minus 1 to 1. Tan x, cot x range are. You can see just now drawn the graph. You can see it goes up, comes down. And when I have drawn the sin x cos x graph, this is limited in between minus 1 to minus 1. Then sec x. Sec x and cosec x both the range are same. What is that range? Range. I am writing the range. R minus 1 to 1. All the values it can carry, all the values it will give you, other than in between, any value between minus 1 to 1. Any value in between minus 1 to 1. It gives you minus 1, it gives you 1. But in the positive side, 1. This side it gives you infinity. This side it gives you minus infinity. This is the range of cosec x, sec x both. Now when I am converting to invertible function, means if I could able to convert sine to invertible, there will be some restrictions. Then the domain converts to range converts to domain. But it is not 1, 1, it is not 1, 1. None of the functions are 1, 1. So I cannot copy this domain in the range. But they are onto functions. Sin x gives you all the values from minus 1 to 1, cos x also. Means all the trigonometry functions are onto. So onto means their range. I am thinking about the range. So this range will become the domain because this is invertible function. So this I can copy here now. This is minus 1 to 1, minus 1 to 1, r minus 1 to 1. For the same thing you can write down, minus 15 to minus 1, union 1 to infinity. Both are same. Also tell you. But what's about the range? If I write down the range here, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, 0 to pi, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. See that there is change, open interval, 0 to pi, 0 to pi, minus pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, minus 0. Just let me check whether the video is coming or not. Yeah, fine, it is coming. Okay. So, you have understood this one, but you have not understood this part, range. If I force you, no, you'll by heart it. Some of the students will do it, but some students will think how it has come. So I am just going to tell you 2, 3. Rest you can check it out from the book. I will explain you also that one also a little, because 1 or 2 gives you enough idea. Okay, fine. Now we will go to this particular part. Why this is happening? might have studied how to find out the graph of a function. If you are not studied, just I am telling. Suppose if y is equal to fx is a function, y is equal to fx is a function, how to find out the inverse of it? Y is equal to fx. Suppose if I want to draw if inverse of x, then this graph is the mirror image of the graph y is equal to fx with respect to line mirror y is equal to x. That means when I am going to draw f inverse x, I will draw the graph of this one, then with respect to its line mirror y is equal to x, reflection with respect to this line I can draw. So when I will explain it to you, it will be clear. So this is the case. Now suppose you think about the sin x graph. This is the sin x graph. What I have shown you, just suppose if I draw a line parallel to x-axis but at more than 1 point, so it is not 1, so I have to restrict it. Suppose what I do, I know that this graph is not 1, 1. Suppose if I draw a line here, only think about the graph which is in between this line. How it looks like? Okay, fine. Maybe here it is pi by 2, here it is minus pi by 2, here it is pi by 2. Alright, now draw a line parallel to x-axis. Is it cutting the line more than 1 point? If the line is cutting the graph more than 1 point? No. It is not cutting more than 1 point, it is cutting at either exactly 1 point. That means I have to restrict the domain. Then you may think, sir, only this is the possibility. No, I can go for more. I can cut the graph in between this as well. Means the graph can be like this. If I draw a line parallel to x-axis, you can see it is only cutting exactly. That means I can break into this kind of intervals now. This is one interval, this is one interval. From here it is one interval, then minus 3 pi by 2, minus 5 pi by 2. This side also 3 pi by 2 to 5 pi by 2. That means I break into small intervals. Then that is known as the principal range. So what is the principal range? This is the principal range. Student, you will ask us why you are taking this one as the principal range. Suppose if trigonometry I will see this 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is minus pi by 2. This is anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. So when I start a movement, obviously I start a movement like this or like this. I start from 0. I am not going to start from 90 or 270 or 360. Either I will start anti-clockwise or clockwise. That's why it is taken as the principal range. So sin x principal range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means this is the sin x graph now restricted between this. Now I draw a line parallel to x-axis here. What you get? It is not going to cut. So this function now 1, 1. I will not extend it. This is 1, 1 between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That's what I have written. Now what is the sin x graph? Is the sin x graph between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2? Is the sin x graph? Then how to draw the inverse graph here? This is pi by 2. This is minus pi by 2. What is pi by 2? 22 by 7. 22 by 7 into 2 in denominator 14. 22 by 14, 1 point something. So 1 I cannot take exactly here. I have to take here 1. Then you give here pi by 2. Here minus pi by 2. Here you give minus 1. Here also give 1. Here you give minus 1. Why? Because I have to draw the inverse graph. Now you can see this goes from 0 to pi by 2, this, and it reaches at 1, it is 1, this is your minus 1. Similarly, draw the graph at pi by 2, it becomes 1, at pi by 2 becomes 1, so graph will go like this. Its copy, mirror image is this. Then at minus pi by 2, it becomes minus 1 here, so graph becomes. If I connect it, I will get the complete graph. This is the graph of sin inverse x. Alright, this is sin x, this is what is sin inverse x. And y, we are getting the principal range minus pi by 2, pi by 2. Beside it also, you can write down pi by 2 to 3 pi, but the value will not exactly will change. I will come back to that one later on. Today, you try to learn it first. So, okay, this is about sin x graph now. Let's go to cos graph now. Continue. Here also. So what's this graph? Now draw a line parallel to x-axis. It cuts at more than 1 point. Suppose if the same, I think like sin x, that sin x has drawn lines at minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. Just imagine that if I draw a line here minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. I draw a line parallel to x-axis. It cuts the graph more than 1 point. So I cannot consider the same concept of sin x here. Then it has to be changed. I will cut the graph into such smaller parts such that it becomes 1, 1. So what is that? You think about 0 and pi. Draw lines here. Think the graph in between 0 to pi. What is that graph? This is the graph. I am thinking about the graph from 0 to pi now. This is pi by 2. Now draw a line parallel to x-axis. It cuts how many points? Exactly 1 point. This is the graph of pi is equal to cos x restricted between 0 to pi. Now this is 1, 1. Again, this is the principal domain, principal range for cos inverse x. Now, how to draw the graph of cos inverse x? Okay. Here it is pi, take here pi. Pi by 2. Right? It gives you at 1, here will be a 1. It is minus 1, this is 1, this one is minus 1. So, if this give you minus 1. Alright? It is 0 to 1, 0 to this value 0, it touches 1. Suppose if I think the cos graph here, you can see this is like this. This is the cos graph. cosine graph. Alright. As it is a cosine graph, now I have same graph I have written here. Now how to get the mirror image? Connect this one here. This is pi by 2. This is, it starts from 1 and ends here. Now this pi by 2 is 1. Pi by 2 this is 1 and at pi it is minus 1. So get the graph like this. This is the complete graph is like this. This is the graph of the orange one. This is the graph of cos inverse x. This is the graph of cos x. This is the graph of cos x. This is the graph of cos inverse x. And they are symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. Alright, let's go to tan x now. After that tan x, then cot x, cot inverse x, sec inverse, cosec inverse x, you can find it from the book. If you find it difficult, you can ask me also, no problem. Because we have to go for other things. Tan inverse graph, already I have told you what is tan inverse graph. 0, pi by 2, pi, d pi by 2, minus pi by 2, minus pi, minus d pi by 2. Draw parallel lines at. Why I am drawing parallel lines or multiples of pi by 2? Because at that point the graph is not defined. So this is known as asymptotes. The word this is known as asymptotes, where the curves becomes parallel. So the graph looks like this. Tan x graph. It continues that side also, this side also. Draw a line parallel to x axis now. Easily you can visualize that it cuts more than 1 point. Alright, so I have to restrict in the domain. Again, I cannot think like cos. So each question is, each individual is different, each graph is different. If I think from 0 to pi, it cuts more than 1 point. So I think about again minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. I think about the graph from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Pi by 2 minus pi by 2. Now if I think about the graph, now you draw a line parallel to x axis, it cuts at exactly 1 point. This is the graph of tan x now. So that's the written. Why open interval? Because this graph doesn't touch this line. This becomes parallel till infinity. It is not going to touch it. Because at minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 it is not defined. It is little bigger than minus pi by 2 defined and it is smaller than pi by 2 it is defined, but they are not defined at minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. Fine? This is the graph of tan x now. Let me see the graphs are clear or not. Okay. Now I will go for tan inverse graph. Fine. This is 0 to pi by 2. Make a line here pi by 2. Make a line here minus pi by 2. You can see at pi by 2 there is a line drawn parallel to x axis. Draw a line here. Draw a line here. Alright? You can see from it starts from 0 and till go to infinity. So the graph like this. The yellow line, what I have drawn here is the graph of tan inverse x. The blue one is of tan x. Yellow is of tan inverse x. Alright? So this is the way you need to handle it. Okay? Let's now, and it cuts at here, so it doesn't go beyond it. I have to stop it here. That means it graph goes up to this pi by 2, here on the minus pi by 2. That's all. Okay. Now other graphs also you can see. Now what interesting part is here that to remember all this, it looks complicated, but if you look at carefully, you can find out it is divided into two categories: minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and 0 to pi. That's all. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, which one is containing this, and this one? Sin x, tan x, sin inverse x, tan inverse x, and cosec inverse x. You see, that's the way you can remember it. For only that, you have to remember this is open interval and this is minus 0 because cosec inverse x at 0 it is not defined. Alright? Then other three cos inverse x, cot inverse x, sec inverse x, 0 to pi. Now what is the meaning of it also again we are going to check. Before that, some small questions we will do. Suppose if someone asks you a question, sin inverse 3x minus 1. Find the domain of x. Simple question, one or two questions, then we go back again that one. Find the domain of sin inverse 3x minus 1. So, till today we are not doing inverse function, the first time we are solving it. So, immediately the mindset is that sin inverse x. Sin inverse x, what is the domain? Domain is minus 1 to 1. Close interval. So, instead of x, this is 3x minus 1. So, I will copy paste this one over here. 3x minus 1 is less than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to minus 1. That's all. Add 1 to all three. 3x is less than or equal to 2, greater than or equal to 0. X is less than or equal to 2 by 3, greater than or equal to 0. So, my domain answer is 0 to 2 by 3. That's the answer for sin inverse 3x minus 1. So simple it is. So, if we get a question now. Cos inverse of minus 3. Cos inverse of 2x square minus 3. Again, I will think compare. 2x square minus 3 less than or equal to 1, less than or equal to minus 1. Add 3 to up, 2x square less than or equal to 4, greater than or equals to 2. So x square less than or equal to 2, greater than or equals to 1. X square less than or equal to 2, greater than or equals to 1. Then first condition, x square minus 2 less than or equal to 0. I will get two factors here, plus minus root 2, x plus root 2, x minus root 2. I will refer to class 11, minus root 2, root 2. Other one, x square minus 1 greater than or equals to 0. So x plus 1, x minus 1 greater than or equals to 0. So here comes your minus 1, here comes 1. According to this, I will move to this side, and according to this, I will stay in between this and close interval. So my answer is, my final answer is minus root 2 to minus 1 union 1 to root 2. You may get one or two marks questions regarding this, maybe in small competitive examination or board examination as well. So think of it, just keep it in mind when they are asking domain. This is the way you are going to do it. Okay, next. Now we have solved some questions related to domain. Let's go about some questions which is related to codomain. Alright. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y plus tan inverse z is equals to pi. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y plus tan inverse z is equals to pi. If find the value x plus y plus z whole square. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y plus tan inverse z is equals to pi. Get the value of x plus y plus z whole square. Then I will think what I must substitute here in these three places that I should be getting equal to pi. But I know that tan inverse range is, because this is range, tan inverse output it is range. I think about range, I don't think about domain. This is range, this is range, this is range. So tan inverse is lying between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. What I must take? That three values being added, this becomes pi. So The best way to solve it is tan inverse x is equals to pi by 3. Tan inverse y is equals to pi by 3. Tan inverse z is equals to pi by 3. Pi by 3, pi by 3, pi by 3 is equals to 3 pi by 3, that's your pi. So now x is equals to tan pi by 3. I will apply tan to both the sides. Tan plus tan cot, x equal to tan pi by 3, tan 60 root 3. So x is root 3, similarly y is root 3, z is also root 3. So I will replace the values here, x plus y plus z whole square. Root 3 plus root 3 plus root 3, 3 root 3 whole square. 27 is the answer. Alright, so one more question regarding this. Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x plus tan sin inverse y plus sin inverse z is equals to 3 pi by 2. Find x square plus y square plus z square plus 2xy minus 4xz plus 6yz. Sin inverse x plus sin inverse y plus sin inverse z is equals to 3 pi by 2. Now sin inverse x and I think that lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Again uniformity has to be there. I cannot take sin inverse x is equals to 0, then I think about other. So each value is equals to pi by 2. Each value is equals to pi by 2. That means sin inverse x equals to pi by 2. Sin inverse y is equals to pi by 2. Sin inverse z is also equals to pi by 2. And my humble request, it will take near about 4 to 5 hours minimum to complete this topic if we want to solve it properly. So circular trigonometric functions formulas use write and practice. So x is equals to sin pi by 2, y is also sin pi by 2, z is also sin pi by 2. Means x, y, z all are equals to 1. I replace the values here. The answer is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 minus 4 plus 6. 8, 11, 7. Alright, the answer is 7. Okay, fine. Now we are entering into some crucial stage. When I think about normal trigo, circular trigonometric functions, I can take 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. I can take rotations, any number of rotations anti-clockwise, or I can take clockwise as well. 0, minus pi by 2, minus pi, minus 3 pi by 2, minus 2 pi. I can take clockwise also, any number of rotations I am telling. I can go anti-clockwise, clockwise, any direction. But if I look at the range here, there is some restrictions. That means if I look at the values, only I am having minus pi by 2, pi by 2, 0 and pi. Only these numbers are visible to me, you see. The numbers what is visible to you, minus pi by 2, pi by 2, 0 and pi. Other than this, nothing is visible. Neither 3 pi by 2, not 2 pi, no values. Not 7 pi by 6, nothing is visible. Only these three. So let's think about it again. Normal trigo, you know, all students take coffee, all school to college, all are positive, sine is positive, cosec positive, tan positive, cot positive, cos positive, sec positive. That means each trigonometric function is positive in 2 places, these 2 places negative. Okay? Now, what conclusion just I told from there, let's think about it. The value is what I got, I am writing it here. 0, pi by 2, pi minus pi by 2. That's all. These are the only values what is visible to me from here. So if I go, I will see this is half rotation like this and 1/4 rotation like this. Okay? Now what is meaning out of it? here comes a crucial thing for all of you. If I look at the values which comes under minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, 0, pi by 2, minus pi by 2, means minus pi by 2 to half rotation this side, half rotation this side. Under this which one comes here? Sin inverse, tan inverse, cosec inverse. That means sin inverse, tan inverse, cosec inverse comes here. That means in between these two quadrants only these three lines. That means they are not going to lie here and there. Alright? Similarly, if I take 0 to pi, I am writing in yellow. In these two, which two other three, rest three, what is that? Cos inverse, sec inverse, cot inverse. That means in these two, these three lines, that means I am restricted to first quadrant, second quadrant, fourth quadrant. That means third quadrant is out of picture now. Third quadrant is not there in inverse trigo. Once more I am telling you. None of the values of trigonometry functions, inverse trigonometry functions lies in third quadrant. So third quadrant is out of picture. That means there is no value of inverse trigo. Then what conclusion again I am getting out of it? Not like circular trigonometry function, sine is positive in the first and second quadrant. Then any number of rotations I can take, keep on adding 2 by 2 by, get more values whether they are positive or negative. No. Inverse trigo, one quadrant positive, one quadrant negative. For each of them, one quadrant positive, one quadrant negative. What are the positive quadrants here? All positive values. Sin inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, cot inverse x, sec inverse x, cosec inverse x. All these are, if they are positive, it is first quadrant only. No second, third. That means all inverse which are positive, they have to lie in the first quadrant. They have to lie in the first quadrant. Then comes, if they are negative, what will happen? If they are negative, I got some minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2. Where it is minus pi by 2? For three things, that is sin, tan and cosec. That means in fourth quadrant, sin inverse negative, cosec inverse negative, and tan inverse negative. If sin inverse is negative, they have to lie in fourth quadrant. Cosec inverse and tan inverse. Then what's about this quadrant? Cos inverse, sec inverse, cot inverse. If they are negative, they will lie here. That means for positive, first quadrant, sin inverse, cosec inverse, tan inverse negative, fourth quadrant, and cos, sec, cot inverse here negative. Alright? Okay. This one is clear? Okay. Once this one is clear, we'll go back to some of the formulas now. Easy formulas. Okay, fine. In class 11, if someone asks you sine of minus theta, minus sine theta, cos of minus theta, minus cos theta, tan of minus theta, minus tan theta. Sorry, cos of minus theta, cos theta, minus tan theta. Similarly, rest three are there. But if I ask you now, what is about sine inverse of minus theta, cos inverse of minus theta, tan inverse of minus theta, cot inverse of minus theta, sec inverse of minus theta, cosec inverse of minus theta. Here you can see cot inverse of minus theta, the cot of minus theta, minus cot theta, sec of minus theta, sec theta, cosec of minus theta, minus cosec theta. Am I going to copy paste it over here? No. there will be a change. If I write down this one as minus sin inverse theta, this is pi minus cos inverse of theta, minus tan inverse of theta, pi minus cot inverse of theta, pi minus sec inverse of theta, minus cosec inverse theta. And if I force you know by heart it, you will say how can I do it? Sometimes I forget also. So tell us the logic how it is going on. Some of the books will find out they used to take even and odd functions, then they apply. No need. It's very simple method I am giving you. If I am standing with a trigonometry value theta here, sin theta here, cos theta here, tan theta, and I will tell get the corresponding value in other two quadrants, then its equivalent value in the second quadrant is pi minus theta, and its equivalent value in this quadrant is minus theta. Where we have studied trigonometry equations, in trigonometry and in complex number also parametric functions. Theta goes to second quadrant and goes to third quadrant, a fourth quadrant. It's very simple now. Who remains here in inverse trigo? Sin, tan inverse, cosec inverse. And what is their job? Theta turns to minus theta. The value comes outside. So simple it is. Who remains here? Cos inverse. And what is the condition? Theta turns to pi minus theta. Pi minus cos inverse of theta. That's the way you can remember it. Cot inverse of minus theta. Pi minus cot inverse of theta. Sec inverse of theta. Minus theta, pi minus sec inverse of theta. So never by heart a formula, apply your logic or listen to the logic. Once you think about it, it will be clear. So easily you can solve the questions now. So why it is happening, that you got now. Related to this, some questions will do now. Okay. So if I give you sin inverse of 1 by root 2, tan inverse of root 3, sec inverse of 2, cot inverse of 1, all are positive. All are positive. There is none of the values are negative. So that means indirectly I am asking when sin is equal to 1 by root 2 in inverse trigo. First quadrant. Positive means first quadrant. Inverse positive means first quadrant. They are not going to go to any other quadrant. So, what is that value? Pi by 4 or 45 degree. Pi by 3 or 60 degree. Sec inverse 2, that is your again pi by 3. Cot inverse 1, pi by 4. That's all. Suppose if I get negative, cos inverse of 1 by minus 1 by 2, sin inverse of minus 1 by root 2, cot inverse of minus 1, tan inverse of minus root 3. Okay, no problem. Cos minus 1 by 2 cos theta, pi minus cos theta, pi minus cos inverse of 1 by 2. That's all. Pi minus pi by 3, 2 pi by 3. Sin inverse of minus 1 by root 2 minus sin theta, minus pi by 4. This is minus pi by 4, minus sin 1 by root 2 minus pi by 4. Cot inverse of minus 1, pi minus cot inverse of 1. And weight is cot is 1, 45. Pi minus pi by 4, 3 pi by 4. Tan inverse of minus root 3, minus tan inverse root 3. Minus pi by 3. So, it's clear now? This kind of question you can do. Now the next set of formula what is coming to you. Whenever I multiply a into 1 by a, I am getting an identity function I or 1. 5 into 1 by 5 is equals to 1. That means any number, any variable multiplied inverse gives you 1. In matrices, we are getting a unit matrix. But in inverse function, what I get? Sine of sine inverse x, cos of cos inverse x, tan of tan inverse x, cot of cot inverse x, sec of sec inverse x, cosec of cosec inverse x. Generally, sin sin inverse x, 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 plus verified. Sine of sine inverse root 3 by 2. Sine inverse sine, the answer should be root 3 by 2. The answer should be root 3. Let us verify it. When sine is equals to root 3 by 2, inverse function, I think our first quadrant positive pi by 3. Sin pi by 3, sin 60 by root 3 by 2. That means this is correct. So let's take a negative. Tan inverse of minus 1. Answer should be minus 1. Let us take it out. Tan minus tan 1. Tan inverse 1. Tan of minus pi by 4 and tan of minus pi by 4 is equal to minus 1. That means whatever I have written here, whatever is the value remains here, for this particular case, x is the answer. So this formula is correct. This formula is fine. Let's see this formula now. Equal to x, are they equal to x? Now is the question mark. Let's see why is the question mark. In this case, this is correct. I am telling you that this is a question mark. One example I will show you, then I will come back to the theory. Sine inverse of sine pi by 4. The student will tell you, sir, this is pi by 4. I am not telling you right or wrong now. For the timing, I am telling you will tell me the answer sine pi. Suppose someone tells you sine inverse sine pi 3 pi by 4. According to this 3 pi by 4, sine inverse of sine 5 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4. Only the first one is correct and these two are wrong. Similarly, others are also some terms and conditions are there. Why they are wrong? Because I am calculating inverse function. In inverse function, sine remains between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Then, here the value 3 pi by 4 means 135 degree. It is not between minus 90 to 90. This is also not between minus, so these two are wrong. Again, one more example. Suppose if I write down cos inverse of cos pi by 6, cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 6, cos inverse of cos sin pi by 6. Now, according to this, now I write down here pi by 6, 5 pi by 6, 7 pi by 6. I will tell this is correct, this is correct, this is wrong. Again, why? Cos range is minus pi to pi, 0 to pi. First range is 0 to pi. This is line between 0 to pi. This is line between 0 to pi. 5 pi by 6 means 150 degree. This is beyond 0 to pi. So then how to restrict them? What should be the answer? Correct answer now? How to know it? Okay, come back to that now. Okay. Now, few things I am going to show you. In normal trigo, 0, pi by 2, circular denoting function pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. All student take coffee. If you are standing in first quadrant, theta, go to second quadrant, pi minus theta, go to this quadrant minus theta. But one new thing I am going to give you, will not get in any of the books. So try to copy this particular part in your book, whichever book you study, mention. Suppose I know from first quadrant to other quadrants, which one can go? Pi minus theta, pi plus theta, 2 pi minus theta, or minus theta. Again, by adding 2 pi I will get more values. This is from first quadrant to this quadrants. First to second, first to third, first to fourth. But have you heard from going from other quadrants to first quadrant? Yeah, that you get to. Suppose if the value is alpha here, this is pi minus alpha. Remember it. If I want to go to first quadrant, this is my from second to first. This is beta. If I want to go here, beta minus pi. If it is gamma, if I want to go here, 2 pi minus gamma. It's very important for all of you. That means going from other quadrants to third quadrant to first quadrant, fourth quadrant to first quadrant. Alright? What is the application of it? Suppose if I am giving you sine inverse of sine 2 pi by 3, let us calculate it. When I get this question, sine inverse of tomorrow onwards, again we are going to start from here also. Today 2 or 3 questions I will do. Tomorrow again I will start from here. This is a very crucial concept for finding the values. Sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3. Whenever I get a question, my first target is in normal trigo, this value 2 pi by 3 where it is lies. 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. So it lies at second quadrant. As it is a normal trigo, forget about this is a normal trigo, sign is positive here, but I am telling try to understand. This way I give you, then another way, graph also I give you. First try this, everybody cannot understand graph. So this basic method all of you can understand, this is a very good method. It is not given in book, so you try to understand it, which way it has been done. Sine 2 pi by 3, 2 pi by 3 is second quadrant. Second quadrant if it is given, sine normal trigo sine is positive here. So when normal trigo sine is positive here, that means I will think about now inverse trigo of sine. If normal trigo sine is positive, I have to calculate the positive value in inverse. So inverse only one case, that is your first quadrant. All inverse are positive. All positive cases of inverse has to remain in the first quadrant. So sine 2 pi by 3 in second quadrant, normal trigo, all students take coffee, sine is positive here, so transfer it to first quadrant. Why to first quadrant? Because I need a positive value. So what is the value, how to convert it? This is the way, alpha pi minus alpha. Pi minus 2 pi by 3. That's the value pi by 3. So its answer is pi by 3. Sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3 is pi by 3. Suppose example another. Sine inverse sine 5 pi by 4. Sine inverse sine 5 pi by 4. get a value, just get idea which quadrant it lies. Pi by 4 means 45. Pi into 225 degree or pi plus pi by 4. Pi plus pi by 4. 0, pi by 2, pi, 2 pi by 2, 2 pi. That means pi by 4 is here. This is the in normal trigo, this is the hometown for tan and cot. So sin is negative here. Sin is negative here. When sin is negative, I am calculating inverse. So I will think about the inverse negative. So inverse negative, sin inverse negative is here. Then how to go? Your control room is first quadrant. You first transfer your value to first quadrant. Then from there, wherever you want to go, you go. My first target is to go to first quadrant. I will go from here to first quadrant. That's the value. Beta minus pi. This is beta. So like pi by 4 is beta. Pi by 4 minus pi. Pi by 4. Then I have to come to which quadrant? Because I have to come here, come down. Why I am coming here? Because sin is negative here. And I have to calculate the value negative here. Inverse negative. So what is that condition? Minus theta. You see. Inverse negative. So pi by 4 comes here, minus pi by 4. So that's the answer for minus pi by 4. Alright? Next. So next question is cos inverse cos 3 pi by 4. Cos inverse of cos 3 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4 means 135 degree. 0 pi by 2 pi 3 pi by 4 here. Normal trigo cos is negative, inverse also negative, and the value lies between 0 to pi. If the value lies between 0 to pi, I don't have to do anything. Other cases what I have shown you, they are not lying between the required range. So 0 to 3 pi by 4, so this is the answer 3 pi by 4. Straight to the answer, write down 3 pi by 4. Suppose if I am getting cos inverse of cos 7 pi by 6. This is the 7 pi by 6. That value is between 180 to 270. That's your pi plus pi by 6. In normal trigo, cos is negative here. Cos is negative here. Cos negative here. So I think about the quadrant where cos inverse is negative. That is cos inverse is negative here. How to go to that quadrant? Go to first quadrant. Then from there come to this quadrant. Then how to take the value to there? Beta minus pi. 7 pi by 6 minus pi. 7 pi by 6 minus pi. That value becomes here pi by 6. And that pi by 6 will bring it here. Which way will bring? You can see there. Pi minus theta. That's why these two graphs are very wide. Pi minus theta. This is the value now. Pi minus pi by 6. Pi pi by 6. So its answer is pi pi by 6. Right down there. Alright. So for today, it's almost 1 hour class we have taken. So we'll wind up. Please, if you are going through my videos, please like and share it. Okay. Thank you.